You're rocking with King Troll. And I'm your boy, just call me Monty, a.k.a. King Gigawatt. P, just call me Monty. Back with an intro that make your head turn. Wave gang, making it happen. When will they ever learn that we stay strapped with the heat? Some all mass burn, and I'm just here to assist. Like Steve Nash, turn back? Nah, never. I'm a goat with the intros. King Troll, EBL shooting, so get low. Squad so exclusive, if you ain't, then it don't matter. Right there's your home run when we pitch like a nice batter. It's battle rap, and when it comes to that, we go talk. Exclusive battle league, man, they think it's a cakewalk. Until they come to battle and get smoked by a killer. Stop sleeping on the league, bet not come with mad filler. We out here, see I move different, just say the word. Call me David with that slingshot throwing them angry birds. Yeah, it's King Jigger, I'm just talking, so pay attention. This is just the intro, but me snapping was my decision. Wave gang all day, yeah, you heard what I said. Anybody sleeping on us, we gon' put them to bed. It's wave gang all day, yeah, you heard what I said. Don't get it twisted, dread like you got something to dread. It's wave gang all day, yeah, you heard what I said. Anybody sleeping on us, we gon' put them to bed. It's wave gang all day, yeah, you heard what I said. Don't get it twisted, dread like you got something to dread.
Nacho Sundays, every Sunday at 6 p.m. Live on YouTube on the EBL exclusive Battle League Network. Hosted by Fibonacci Brown.
Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme, nacho Sundays.
Nacho Sundays. Where it's not your
Sundays.
opinion, it's Nacho's opinion.
Nacho
Hosted by
Sundays.
Fibonacci Brown.
Nacho Sundays. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme,
Nacho Sundays. Where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. Hosted by Fibonacci Brown.
Nacho Sundays. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme, nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays.
Hosted by Fibonacci Brown. Don't forget to go to FibonacciBrown.com to get your copy of Growing Down.
Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays.
Brought to you by the exclusive Battle League Network. EBL.
Thank you, Dave. Can you guys hear me? I got it. I got it. You guys can hear me now? Yes, no. What up, though, family? I appreciate y'all. Today is Nacho Wash Day. Hey. That's what I was telling y'all, that it's wash day, and the next time y'all see me, my hair gonna be this big. But what up, though, family? Thank you for pulling up to Nacho Sundays 16th episode. It is my Sweet 16. I am so excited. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Y'all here on my Sweet 16. Thank you for pulling up to Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. I'm feeling powerful today. Y'all got my woman shirt on. Can y'all see? I'll let y'all figure that one out. Anywho, we got a couple of things to get out of the way before we begin to devour our nacho. We are going to do the announcements, certain things that are coming up this week that we need to be aware about. For starters, I have been told that there is a battle this evening. If you are a part of the EBL Discord server, you will be able to take a listen. Or no, they're not going to be doing it on the server. I think they're doing it on YouTube. So later on tonight on the EBL network, make sure you are subscribed so you can get that notification that there is a battle going down tonight. There are battles for the Admit One card. The Admit One card is a card for a seat in a tournament where there is only one spot left. And of the battlers who are selected to partake in this Admit One card, only one of them can actually get the golden ticket to participate in the tournament. So I hear Ace Ruger is in this tournament. I hear Maze is in this tournament. And I believe there are two more battles. So make sure you are subscribed to the EBL network so that you can make sure you hear who the winner is going to be. Because, waiting on me, you're not going to find out until next Sunday. So make sure you are tuned in and subscribed so you can find out the winner later on tonight. I believe that's going to be at 11 o'clock. Right now, Nacho Sundays comes on at 6 p.m. So it's 6 p.m. right now. So we're talking about 11 o'clock my time. So that's again on the EBL network. It's going to be hosted by our very own EBL King. And I do believe there was some chatter about some battle rap celebrities pulling up. So, make sure you in the know so you can know. Also, make sure you guys are pulling up to the 7 a.m. morning show, Wave and Blaze, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. You will soon be able to catch your favorite Wave and Blaze episodes on other networks. Details coming soon, but we are growing over here. Yes, indeedy, sweetie. So again, make sure you're pulling up at 7 a.m. in the morning, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I know specifically that Thursday is Tech Thursday. So for all of my tech heads out there who definitely need to know what Apple is doing, what Elon Musk is doing, and how much is the PlayStation when it come out, you want to make sure you are tuning in to Wave and Blaze on Thursdays, which is Tech Thursday. There are definitely some of your familiar personalities over there talking tech that are familiar to the battle rap world. So, you might find some interesting conversations over there, as well as some familiar faces. So make sure you're pulling up for that. And also, you got to go over to FibonacciBrown.com. I am an author. I am the author of Growing Down, the observation of the masculinization of the Black American woman. And you can get your copy on FibonacciBrown.com. That's FibonacciBrown.com. And I will be personally mailing out this batch of books. However, the books will be going back to regular price very soon. I have not changed since the introductory price. So make sure that you head over to FibonacciBrown.com so that you can get your copy before I make that price change back to regular price. Okay. Also, I have an album coming out this summer. The album is called Scription. That Scription album is with my better half, 21 Illuminous. Everything on this album is either me or him. He has done all of the production on this album. I have contributed majorly to the vocals, as did he. And we have created a masterpiece. It's Scription Volume 2. Scription Volume 1, we produced that in 2020. 2018, I'm sorry. And we think it's time to go ahead and let volume 2 out. So we're getting some visuals together, working on some videos, crafting wardrobe. We're really trying to put together something beautiful, unique, something that is definitely of substance. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for Scription Volume 2 coming out this summer with your very own Fibonacci Brown and My Better Half 2-1 Illuminous. And that's TUONE. Okay, I see I have some people in the chat. Dave took over the chat for a minute while he was laughing at me. Wait till Wave and Blaze. I got you, Dave. I got you. Greetings, SK. Make sure that you tell baby girl Auntie said hey and give her whatever she wants. Period. Anywho, that's gonna do it for our announcements. We might as well get on into our nacho cheese. And for those Nacho-tarians who pull up faithfully to Nacho Sundays, whereas Nacho opinion is Nacho's opinion, you know that our nacho cheese is where we talk about money. We talk about money matters. How can we make our money work for us? And basically ways that we can make money work smart, not hard. So in this episode of the Nacho Cheese Money Matters, we are going to be talking about the importance of supporting entrepreneurs, local businesses, brick and mortar businesses in your area. Okay. Now, I'm not necessarily speaking about the online businesses. I'm more focusing on your brick and mortars, your buildings, the businesses that line your streets. I'm talking more so towards those businesses and why it's important to support those businesses, especially in Black communities. And I'm speaking specifically to Black communities because I'm a Black woman. So one of the reasons why it's important to support those businesses is because, for one, when you are starting out as an entrepreneur, one of the things that we tend to do is we immediately expect some sort of discount or money off of a product because it's our friend or we know the business owner or we don't give much value to what they're selling. So we're going to try to negotiate their prices on their products, right? So we have to, and when I say we, I mean us Black folks, I'm talking about Black business here. We got to stop expecting a discount. Okay. Stop that. Stop asking for it. Stop looking brand new business owners in their eyes and saying, hey, you want to give me a little something more? Stop doing that. That I'm going to tell you right now, that is an insult to that business owner. And if they are in your community where you go to the grocery store, where your friends and family travel the streets and go to other local businesses, that is an insult. And I'm going to tell you why. That business is contributing to the cyclical dollar in your local economy. Now, I know you like, Nacho, what? What did you just say? That business is contributing to the cyclical dollar in your local economy. And what that basically says is that you need to circulate money in your community. Money needs to travel from one business to another so that it builds up, your dollar builds up power in your community. So if you have someone who has started a business in your local community, they have a physical brick and mortar business in that community, you need to support them because the more economics you have in your community, the more political say you can garner. Now, some of you guys might be like, you know what? I don't care nothing about no politics. I'm not, politics ain't never did nothing for me. They don't give nobody nothing. And, you might just feel like you're not interested. Well, in layman's terms, local politics is basically awarding certain communities resources. Who's going to get the good water? Whose kids are going to get the good schools? Who's going to get the good textbooks? who's going to get the extended programs funded by the school boards or the local governments when they have that extra funding? So when you're in politics in your local communities, the power of your dollar determines your say in that arena. So going into a business just because you may know the person and expecting a discount, that is an insult to that business, especially considering what they're trying to do in your community. So don't do that. Don't ask for a discount. As a matter of fact, readily pay full price and then give them a tip. Now I know you say, look, I done already spent, $50 on $20 shoes and you want me to tip them too? Yes. And the reason I want you to tip them is because you need to encourage that business to stay on the playing field that allows you political power to have say over the resources in your community. Now I'm going to stop. I know that's a lot. But you need to be thankful that they have placed you at the table to be able to have certain political conversations. And I'm going to tell you, if you notice, the communities that tend to suffer the most in certain states are the communities that don't have businesses lining the streets. When you have active businesses in your communities, those neighborhoods are taken care of. When you don't have active businesses in those communities, the communities look like they don't have active businesses around. So yes, pay full price, stop asking for a discount, and give them a tip. I don't care if it's $1, $2, $5. That business person, first of all, if they're in a brick and mortar business, that business is going to likely statistically struggle for the first 3 years. Now, statistically, I'm not trying to say that all businesses struggle when they first, come into business. I know things have changed when it comes to the business model of how, people utilize technology towards their promotions and business efforts. However, statistically, brick and mortar businesses tend to fail in the first 3 years. So if you can encourage that business to stay in the fight by giving them a $1, $2, $3 tip, $5 tip, more if you can, you're doing a service to not only that business, but to that community. That business might be struggling to stay open, but because it's such a beautiful appearance, you don't even know how hard it is for that business owner to try to keep the doors open. They may not be able to get their kids chicken nuggets tonight because they didn't make a sale that day, but they got to keep the lights on. They got to make sure that you can flush the toilet. It's a lot of things that come with being a brand new brick and mortar business owner. So yes, pay the full price, stop asking for a discount, and tip them. You need to make sure you have say in your community. People who are like, I don't vote because it doesn't do anything. I don't vote because, they put in there who they want to put in there. And I'm not going to knock that thought process to some extent. I do believe that is true. However, on a local level, I think that we have to use a little more caution with our political approach. And we have to understand the role that our local businesses play in our communities. If you don't think local business plays a part in your politics and in your distribution of resources, look at how many foreign business owners are in urban communities. They don't live where you live. They just come get money from you. So if that business wasn't important, they wouldn't be there. And part of the reason why those urban communities don't have the political power they need is because they don't have the business dollar in their communities to garner the attention and a seat at the table to say, hey, we're spending our money this way, which means we have a significant contribution to the tax bottom line, and we have a say, and this is how we feel. This is our representative to say this is how we feel. So it is absolutely imperative that we support our local businesses, especially in our urban communities, our Black communities, where we are we have a lot of stereotypes working against us. Because I'm gonna say this, and again, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Black business owners, tighten up your attitude. Stop being the stereotype. Open up on time. Work the hours that are on the door. I said it. Nacho Sundays. Be polite to your customers. Stop treating your customers like they're bothering you. I know you're at work. I know that you don't have a traditional 9 to 5. You're an entrepreneur and you may have been in that building for 12 hours. But when I come into your establishment, I need to feel like it's an experience that I want to have and I want to tell other people about. I don't want to come out of there feeling like, I was fighting, because the energy is so thick and the attitude is so stank that, I didn't even have a good customer experience. I can't even say, I might have got a product, but I don't even want to tell anybody where I got it from. It's you've got to be more of a team player for your own benefit. We cannot call ourselves businesses and you say your hours are from 10 to 6 and you don't open to 12:30 because you had to have lunch first. And then you got to close at 5 because you got to go pick your baby up from latchkey. And I'm not saying that things don't happen. All I'm saying is that this is a community. And together we are a community fabric. So as residents, we've got to patronize our local businesses and support them. And as businesses, we got to be good to our customers and our communities so they want to continue to do business with us, because that's what's going to enrich your supply chain. You don't get to buy new products to replenish your shelves unless you got people coming in to buy the stuff. And how do you get people to come in and buy the stuff? Customer service, good customer service goes a long way. So it's twofold. And we both have to do our part. So let's make sure that we are, and I see I see you, Polo, in the chat. Polo said, yeah, you tripping with the tipping. So again, you want to encourage your local businesses to stay at the playing field where you have a seat at the table to your share as a community of the community resources. Okay, that's what that means. I know you probably like, I'm not tipping nobody extra. If it costs $25, I'm giving them 25 plus tax and I'm out there. I get it, but that business could fold. That business could go under in the first year because they had absolutely no additional help. And if you could have given $5, and if all the customers that came in could have gave anything between $1 to $5, it might have made the difference. It might have been the fee for the business license renewal for whatever they're practicing or doing, or it might be that stock that they could purchase that would have filled up the shelves that could have brought some more money in the store. So you never know. You don't know if it could have brought their kid chicken nuggets that night. It's you got to take care of the community that you're in. You got to take care of your fabric, and your fabric will take care of you. I see that Dave has joined us. Greetings, Dave. Dave got his government name on his profile. I see he out here wilding right now.
What happened?
You got your government name on your profile.
Hold on. Is this showing real? Don't.
You see it?
Yeah, hold on. Okay. Niggas already saw it now.
You got it. There you go. Get it together.
Oh Lord. Oh. Anyways,
all right,
everybody. It's Nacho Sundays, where it's not my opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. It ain't even y'all's opinion. It's Nacho's opinion. You know what I'm saying? Nacho, how you doing this evening?
I'm good. I'm having wash day. I know y'all
that.
like, what is going on with this hair, Nacho? This is wash day.
Let me do the shout outs right quick. Shout out to Polo, Mr. Suburbs in the building. Israel Pod, Augustine the King 2-1. I see Boom was in the comment section earlier.
Jay
Salute to
Normus,
everybody. Jay Norman.
KJ, thank you guys for pulling up. Is
Yes,
we
but
podding in the building? Thank you for pulling up.
I wanted to add on to something, right? Because you was like
Yes.
the black businesses, so doing better at customer service and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? What people don't realize is, like, say, I want to say this. All right, I'm gonna use this in the simplest terms possible, right? Say you and
Okay.
I are competitors, right?
Uh-huh.
But my goods, or say my prices are higher than your prices, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your customer service at your building is terrible, even though your prices are lower. But
Mm-hmm.
every time somebody goes to my business, they get A1 customer service. The employees are nice, the owner is nice. This, that, and the third. 9 times out of 10, I will generate more business than you are based off because of the experience. Because that's all. That's what it really is about. At the end of the day, it's about the experience that a
Yeah.
person has, and everybody can be like, "Oh no, Dad, you tripping? This, that, and the third." Like, no, if you really think about it, right? A
Yeah.
lot of places that you go sometimes, even even if you could possibly get that product cheaper somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
than where you normally go. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna go to where you want to go if the experience is good.
This is a fact. It's an absolute fact. I'm guilty. I do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to piggyback on something you said too.
What?
Sometimes you have people who have competitors, and when you see somebody in business, a black business owner, you go in their store and you're used to getting your edge control for your baby hairs for
Uh-huh.
$5, but you go in the black business and they have it for 5.76, and you're like, it ain't but 76 cents, but bump that, I'm gonna go where it's cheaper.
Right.
Let me tell you why that's detrimental to the business model when you are trying to support your community business. If your community is majority a black community, and you've got a competitor who likely is a foreign competitor, and there's a black business who has similar products but they cost more, a lot of that has to do with the supply chain. So where your black business owner, they have to likely get their supplies from the people that their competitors are getting their supplies from. The difference is that the competitor and the supplier might be related. They might be in the same country. They're not going to make a profit on each other. They're going to work together to make sure you don't even exist in business. How do they do that? They sell it for cheaper than you do. Why do you have to sell higher? Because your supply chain, it isn't a supply chain that comes from a place where you could get the breaks. So if I come over to America and I've got family, overseas, and I need my supplies from overseas, I can tap in with my family. Hey, I need X amount of this to put in my new shop. And okay, I know so and so over here. I will front it to you. Pay us when you get when you sell out of the first shipment. Whereas for me, I gotta have upfront money. I gotta go on Shark Tank and get a whole, PO coverage because I don't have the supply chain. So understand sometimes it's not always about the cheaper price. Sometimes it has a lot to do with the behind the scenes, where supporting that black business isn't limited to just the faces you see in the shop. A lot of times you could be helping that business grow a supply chain that does allow them to sell to you at a cheaper price without compromising quality or product. Oh, we got to, okay. So Asians push out black salon owners from the suppliers. It's hard to get supplies because they're blocked. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You can be guaranteed that if you go to a black nail shop and you go to a Asian run nail shop, the overhead in those shops is significantly different. And you're going to see that significant difference in the cost of supplies. I've gone into Korean nail shop. I won't say Korean, forgive me. Asian nail shops. I don't want to exclude anybody, but I don't know the difference, so I'm trying to be respectful. I've gone into Asian nail shops where they can charge a cheaper price for something because they don't spend the money on the supplies that American nail shops do. And when they find out what the American nail shops are charging, they hike up the price because now they know, oh, well, they're getting X amount of dollars for this. We need to get our money too.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I may.
Greetings,
now,
Max. I see you.
Now, is it always the fact? Is it always that they know how that their supplier, like, is it always that way, or is it that maybe they know other outlets to be able to get with their products at a discount at a better rate than, say, a black salon owner? So they done like more research,
or for the, you mean like for the Korean or for the I'm sorry,
for the Asians,
you mean for the Asian shops?
Yes. Maybe they've done a little bit more research. Like, okay, I know I can get this product here at this amount for this, that, for this, versus like, say, that they've done more research versus, say, like
let's
a
be
black
clear.
owner.
When you think about black people in general,
Mm-hmm.
who are their plugs overseas?
That's true.
Like you know, we might, we have a lot of us who claim to be African, but we can't dial one African phone number to get a shea butter spread sent over here.
Yeah,
so we have to think about we have to think about what runs the world.
Right.
We think business runs the world. Families run this world. Families, powerful ones. And those powerful families move overseas and in and out of countries with ease because they're affiliated through family. So when you're building up a community that starts from what? The residents, the families who ultimately go into business, who ultimately have to grow their business. And that includes growing your supply chain. The more that supply chain, the more of that engagement that has a family fabric to it, the easier that's going to be than dealing with strangers, trying to build up a relationship. Here my black girl magic come, trying to talk to somebody, who might not even speak my language to see if I can build up a relationship to get a discount. You know how hard it is to get away with 2 cents on a bill at the beauty supply when you don't have it? I'm not encouraged to want to, think that my supply chain relationship with them is going to be much better. So
that's also effective.
It's important to make sure you support the things you want to see come to fruition. It's like rewarding the behavior you want to see repeated. You want to see a thriving community. You got to make sure that you're pouring into the things that help the community thrive.
That's also true.
So that matters.
Appreciate you, Wayne. I love my hair too.
This is my, out of respect for Dave, all the hair Dave don't have. I figured I would, bring some extra with me.
See, y'all ain't ish for real.
We're gonna take a break right quick, Dave. I'm gonna tell you, I did not eat before I came on the show today, and I have been like, my food is like sitting right next to me, and it's like killing my palate right now. So I have got to take a break. I'm gonna, take a little nibble of my food. We'll be right back.
Gotcha.
You hanging out with us, Dave? Are you gonna be here when we come back?
About next 20 minutes.
Oh, cool. Okay, so yeah, we gonna take a little break, and we will be right back with the second half of what's the show called, Dave?
Nacho Sundays, where is Nacho's
you gotta
opinion?
sing it.
Oh, Nacho Sunday.
Sound crazy, Dave. All right,
Nacho
Dave.
Sunday. Nacho cheese, beefy Nacho Sunday. I hate y'all.
A woman is the most potent expression
All right, y'all. Salute.
of feminine energy
Wow. Nazi
in the
is
harmonic
eating
equation
food for a
of
minute.
the human
Yeah.
experience.
It's the waving
Growing
blade
down,
takeover on Nacho
an
Sunday for the
observation
next
of the
2.5, 3 minutes while she's
masculinization
been
of the Black
gobbling down the
American
food, drinking
woman.
it, and drinking her
Volume
nat.
1. Get your copy at FibonacciBrown.com.
You are now listening.
Y'all just shut me down while I was talking. That's crazy.
If you,
Said, nah,
that,
Dave.
I'm about to
Yeah,
mute you. If you don't
You are now listening to the Nacho Podcast, brought to you by the EBL Network. If it ain't exclusive, it don't matter. It's not your time to talk, it's time to listen. So pull up to the table with your plate and pay attention. It's not your time to talk, not your Sunday. It's something different. This is not your opinion, and you don't wanna miss it. It's not your time to talk. It's time for the show.
How, how, I can't hear you. Hold on, might be my shit.
I can't leave Dave in charge for 2 seconds. You see how you try to do my Nacho Sunday show? Do you see this? Anywho, welcome back, Dave.
What happened now?
Behave yourself.
What happened now?
I said you're gonna behave yourself.
Nope.
I'll leave you in charge for 2 seconds. You talking about a takeover.
Whatever.
Right now, we are going to get into the beefy nacho of our show, where in the beefy nacho, we talk about beef or conflict wherever it may exist. And in this week's episode of the beefy nacho, I have got to talk about the mother and son love. Carlisa Hood and Son versus Jeremy Brown in the justice system. Now, if you guys are not familiar, this is the case where a mother was having a verbal back and forth with a gentleman at some restaurant. And in this back and forth, the gentleman who was arguing with this woman, i.e. Carlisa or Carlisha, I apologize if I'm saying her name wrong. I'm going to call her Miss Hood. This gentleman was arguing back and forth with Miss Hood, and I guess I couldn't really make out from the video that I saw exactly what she was saying, but this gentleman was very vocal when he said, "Say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Say one more thing, I'm gonna knock you out. Get your food and go, or I'm gonna knock you out." And I don't know if she was loud enough to be offensive to him. I don't even know what she was saying to him, but considering it was very easy for him to just be like, you know, the answer to all of this is me knocking you out, and then doing it. I saw that he hit this woman 2 or 3 times. And at some point, this woman was on the phone with her 14-year-old son who was in the car. She had suggested that he come into the restaurant because this man was going back and forth with her. And when he struck her, or as he struck her at some point, the mother instructed for the son to shoot. And this gentleman who was striking and assaulting his mother ran out of the restaurant where the young man continued to shoot and ultimately deleted the gentleman who was assaulting his mother. So afterward, the mother and son, they, from what I understand, I've heard conflicting stories. They turned themselves in, and because they turned themselves in, there was actually an arrest made for both of them on a deletion charge, if you know what I'm saying. And ultimately, after further evidence of what was going on at this restaurant, of the I guess of the event, more details came to light as the initial investigation began, and the charges were all dropped. As a result, Ms. Hood and her son are seeking to sue the 5 arresting police officers that arrested them, as well as the I think it's their department as a whole, the police department as a whole, and the wherever they live, they're suing that government as well for malicious prosecution, false arrest, and emotional distress. So let me start by saying I'm praying for that mom and that son, because for a 14-year-old, that has to be just nothing short of a traumatic experience to see some strange man beating your mother in the face, trying to knock her out, and you have to shoot him. Now, let me be clear. From what I understand, all the resources that I checked, Carlisha Hood was licensed to carry.
But her son wasn't.
Her son can't be licensed to carry.
Well, yeah, obviously. I'm sorry, but yeah, I was just making it clear.
So with her being in charge of what that young man did, if he would have taken her firearm without her permission and did something, she'd be responsible.
Okay.
So doing something with her permission, especially in the nature in which he had to use it, I can understand why the charges were dropped. I respect it for the traumatic instance that it had to be, to feel like somebody is I don't know this man. Why is he trying to knock my mother out? You know, and I'm 14. Like, there's a shock I have to imagine would, you know, just kind of take over you for an instance. And then the realization of what you have to do, then the courage and the follow through to actually do it and succeed. So this, you know, that's a lot to unpack there. And then for mom to say, you know, not only should you not have arrested me, but you did it maliciously. You automatically assume that, you know, I'm just out here, or that maybe the firearm was my son's illegally. You know, you had no consideration for what you should have considered under the circumstances. This man was trying to knock me out over something I said. You know, he didn't have words big enough to say back to me. He had to try and knock me unconscious as a woman. That's a lot. So I think that I'm you know, this is Nacho Sundays, y'all. This is Nacho Sundays, whereas Nacho opinion is Nacho's opinion. And you know, Jeremy, I'm not gonna miss you. Jeremy Brown, that was the gentleman who was deleted after that Ms. Hood's son followed instructions. I'm not gonna miss you. I don't think that we need to have unhinged, emotionally out of control men who think the answer to something a woman says is to try and knock her out. I think that what he was saying to her was a complete confession that he was out of his mind. He was telling her, get your food and go, or I'm gonna knock you out. Get your food and go. I'm gonna say something else. I'm gonna knock you out. She looked like she was at a counter to me, and she was waiting for her food. So if, you know, if they don't give it to her, she can't leave. So you know, it looked like she was kind of cornered. You know, like she's in between the counter, the wall, and with this man in front of her. So that wasn't in her control. So that to me was a confession that he was already prepared to do exactly what he was saying. Then for him to actually do it and the place scatter, so many people just, you know, didn't offer her help. The fact that her son had to basically do something, he's 14. You know, the man that was attacking his mom looked like a grown man to me. So what is a 14-year-old going to do to defend the woman, his mom, but what she said.
Go ahead. I'm gonna
So
finish that. I'm gonna finish that you cook, and then I'm gonna tell my opinion on it.
I'm gonna be honest to say I wish I didn't feel that way, because it's very sad that there are Jeremy Browns in the world. But you sometimes you pick on the wrong people. Sometimes you think that there's a vulnerability that only you see, not realizing that not only do these people know that they're vulnerable, but they're prepared to protect themselves in a way that you can't defend. So while you think you're doing something by playing this knockout game, stroking your ego as if, you get some kind of points or kudos or rewards for knocking some woman out, look at you, in my Tony Montana voice, you stupid. you had, from what I understand, Jeremy Brown had daughters. You have children. And look at what you put somebody else's child through. Look at what you did because you couldn't control what you were hearing. A woman said something that was just such a trigger for you that, to me, blatantly says any woman would have been a trigger for you. You probably didn't need to be on the street. So I'm not gonna miss him. Not your Sundays. Not your opinion. It's not your opinion. I ain't gonna miss you, Jeremy. You shouldn't have put your hands on that woman. You had it coming, and you got a hot one in your ass, and her baby did it.
Oh God.
No.
All right.
I'm listening, Dave.
I respect your opinion, and right now
I see you in the chat, sir. Thank you for pulling up.
Normally we have almost an agree. We normally don't always disagree when it comes to certain things, but I feel like on this topic we might have a little disagreement here. You see what I'm saying?
I want to hear.
And let me start by saying this, because it's like I'm kind of conflicted, and I'm conflicted about this situation, right?
Okay.
Mentally, because I look at it at two different ways. As a person that has a mother, as most men do, and everything else, if I see somebody putting their hands on my mom, I'm gonna want to try to get them off of her and off of her XYZ, right?
Yeah.
So I understand from the son's standpoint what he was trying to do, but my thing is this: the whole extreme part about pulling the five out and pretty much expunging this man's life, I feel like it didn't have to go that far, because it's like you said, this man has daughters too, so it's just like now you got a family who you got people, you got two kids you got kids who just lost their father. Yes, mind you. You can argue, well, their father should have been, arguing with this woman and put his hands on her in the first place. But it's just like, but is that warrant enough for this man to lose his life? And then especially after, I guess, so now let me make sure I heard you say this right. He ran off, and as he is running off, the son was still peeling off.
He pursued him
After he was running off. See, and that's the other part about it. Like, it's like, dude, like at that point, once he left, it should have been a wrap after that. You see what I'm saying? Like, because at that point, if he's running off and you're shooting at him, then now you made him the victim in the eyes of a court. So that's the other reason why they feel like, okay, they had an arrest, because like you're pretty much shooting at an unarmed person at this point. He is running away. I'm talking about legally right now. He is running away, and you're still popping off at him. That means he's defenseless. You're not defending yourself. You're not. There's no defense right now. You see what I'm saying?
I hear you, Dave, and a couple of things. The fact that this man had daughters and is a father that is now taken away from his family was as irrelevant as the fact that Miss Hood had a gun.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know any more about his family than he knew about her weapon.
That's true.
That's a chance he took.
Right.
And when you have a young man, and I mean young man, 14,
Right.
defending his mother, and he's in that mode,
Mm-hmm.
do I expect a 14-year-old to go, she's not being pursued anymore? No.
Right.
So I'm not going to expect my 14-year-old to know what my 14-year-old, yes, but I'm not going to expect that 14-year-old to know what I know about when to not pursue. If I'm in position to stop him or say that's enough or trigger him to disengage, I'm going to do that.
And
Is
that's
it
all
going to
that.
be fast
And that,
enough to stop him before something happens to the assaulter? I don't know. Some man was just beating me in my face. He tried to
right.
knock me out.
Right.
So I'm not.
But you could. But see, that's the other
I'm
part. You.
sad that, like I said, I'm sad that his daughters have to experience life without him. I'm sad that I'm not going to miss him. But I don't know if it was worth it for what he could have done to this lady had her son not followed instruction. So should it have been okay for her to be deleted because he didn't like what she said?
No.
Who would you rather coexist with in that moment?
Right.
So
no,
it's
but
not,
I get that, but it's also just like it's just kind of jacked up because the mother essentially John Morant to the situation. I know that sounds crazy, but
but see, that's no. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, especially to this situation, because a lot of people are going to do that. The John Morant situation and his mom, that young man got smart with his mama. He said some slick stuff. This man was beating this woman in the face, trying to knock her out.
Right, but this is
there
what.
is
But
a difference. She didn't try to John Morant she didn't John Morant her son. She tried to make sure she was still here for her son.
Right.
Because that man was trying to take her out.
Right. And you can say take because all right. No, because it's like my thing is this.
I've had girlfriends who have experienced getting hit in the jaw by a man. Their whole face is wired shut. I've seen stories of women whose skulls got cracked after a man punched them. Okay. To say that that man was running away and he was no longer a threat, he was holding the threat. He used that threat against that boy's mama.
But this is what I'm saying. Instead of the extreme of pulling the five out, why couldn't she? Could have. I feel it would have.
She getting beat in the face by a guy trying to knock her out. She could have what?
Instead of telling him, "Yo, come shoot this motherfucker," why couldn't she just be like, "Yo, I need help. There's a man whooping my ass. Come beat this nigga ass or some shit." That's my.
He's 14. Guess what I'm gonna tell my son? I carry. First of all, I carry. Okay. My sons are shooters. We're at the gun range.
Right.
Some man beating me in the face. Guess what I'm gonna tell my son? Please go get help. No, I'm not.
But hold up, now let me ask you this. Let me ask you one question.
State of mind to be like, oh, this young man is just misguided. He's trying to knock me out.
No, I get that. Now, but let me ask you this. This though. Now, with your sons, have they been trained, or have y'all had conversations to where if an incident like that happens, they're trained to only disarm, not take out, not expunge a person's life, or what?
In a situation like that, we haven't talked about outside the home. My sons are trained for home defense. Okay. So they don't have a pause button. You come in here, you gonna leave different. No. So for an instance where they were in a restaurant, I'm saying for me, I understand exactly where she's coming from. I can't say exactly what I would do because I haven't been in that situation. But yeah, I get it. I get where she was at. I get it 1,000%. No, don't grab the umbrella from the side of the door. Please don't come in here with a half-drunk water bottle. Get my thou wow and help me. This man is trying to knock me out. I don't know who he is, and he didn't stop until he got stopped.
Okay.
So it's not. He left little. The Jeremy Brown left little room for sympathy on his behalf. He didn't show any emotional control. He didn't show any restraint himself. He was already committed to committing violence on this woman because he was telling her to do something she had no control over. Get your food and go, lady. Well, they got to give it to her. She can't, like it wasn't. I'm not sympathetic, and I don't feel bad for not being sympathetic on Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. I don't feel bad. Jeremy, I hope that this experience can be a lesson to other people connected to you so that they can make different decisions, and this doesn't have to permeate through your bloodline. We don't need to deal with no more people who think like you, Jeremy. You didn't have to do that to that woman. And if the consequence was too extreme, you have to think about the extreme you went to.
Again, I think, and that's the thing. I didn't think that's what we both can agree on. At the end of the day, it was too extreme that it didn't have to go to on either party side. You know what I'm saying?
I wish it could have been different. I wish that young man would have had more control over himself, so that he didn't have to treat people that way, to think that the solution was to put his hands on a woman he didn't even know. Not to say that if he knew her, it was better, but he needed some more tools in between being in between issue and violence, and he didn't have them.
Sidebar. And I know this is my sidebar. If this is at a restaurant, where the fuck was the employees at? Why wasn't no employees trying to step in and try to get this situation?
They were behind the counter. Like I said, she was at this little window, like to get her food. So, yeah. But we're going to move on to a little healthier topic. Well, maybe not so much. But in our Benji Nacho, where we talk about health, this week's episode is going to be about the air quality alerts. I know you've been getting the air quality alerts, Dave. We've been definitely getting them here in Detroit.
I ain't gonna lie, the other day it was almost looking New Yorkish out here. That was crazy.
Yeah, we had I woke up one morning on the way to work. I want to say it might have been Wednesday or either Tuesday or Wednesday, and the air quality was over 200. Now, according to the index, 200 is right, you're in the danger zone. You're at unhealthy. So to give you a breakdown of the air quality, 0 to 50 is good. 51 to 100 is moderate. 101 to 150, this is unhealthy for sensitive groups. So if you have allergies, hay fevers, you're irritated by outdoors, things like that, you're going to want to take precaution when the air quality index, or AQI, is between 100 and 150. Now, 151 to 200, that's unhealthy. That is completely, unhealthy. Nobody should be, outside doing anything because the air is just too unhealthy to do so. 201 to 300 is very unhealthy. Anything over 300 is hazardous. So when I got up to go to work the other day, it was 203. So we were in the very unhealthy. That's one step above hazardous. Okay. And I have some mixed feelings about what's going on with this air quality. And again, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. And I've talked to people and they're like, it smells like smoke outside, and they definitely burning something. And the blamed progenitor for all of this air quality stuff is forest fires in Canada. Now, I don't know if this is the first time Canadian forest fires have caught fire. I've been here for, several moons, and thank goodness. And I'm
about 100 moons.
I'm just not totally convinced that, Canada's forest fires are to blame for just the air quality being trashed everywhere.
Fair enough.
I also find it funny that for some reason there's always some mass attention needed to our air. Something's always going on with the air. If it's not C-19, and they getting that run with that, which newsflash, folks, there is no active pandemic and there is no approved vaccine on the market. That's just a sidebar. There is no approved vaccine on the market. For those of y'all that's like, we're going to get the shot. There is no approved vaccine on the market. There is no active pandemic. Anyway, they went from that to now you have these air quality things, stuff that has never happened in history. Okay. Everything. California is on fire every year. And we haven't had air quality challenges. But for some reason, here this summer comes, and because they can't blame C-19 for colds and flus and that kind of stuff, they want to give us the summertime blues. So now the air is bad because of the fires and the air quality index. But what I have tend to notice, it was brought to my attention by my significant other, that during the time of these air quality index warnings, the sun has been looking particularly weird. And if we didn't know better, we would think they were trying to black out the sun for some reason or another. Because I'm sure there's a calculation out there. If a commodity comes in the chat or gets a chance to look back at this, I'm sure he's going to enjoy this. There has to be a way to determine burn versus sky coverage and how much would have to burn to give off the coverage needed to have the index impact that we are currently having. There's some math in there. I'm going to find out. I'm going to know by the next. Mark my word. But there has to be something different about what's going on now that hasn't happened in the past. So I'm kind of like, why are y'all messing with the air so much? And then what is the precaution? Like the precautions for these air issues seem to be so ridiculous. You can't go outside during C-19, so you need to put this mask on your face. Now, the mask don't hold back anything, don't fix anything, you can sneeze through a mask and blow a candle out. So it's not stopping anything, but you need to have it on. So the precaution for this air quality challenge, just stay in the house. Now, here we are, late June. You want people to stay in the house. Everybody doesn't have air. What if they have to open the door? What if they have to go get the mail or the newspaper or take the trash out or walk the dog? None of that matters. You're not gonna, it's okay if you have to do those things, but otherwise just stay indoors. You don't have any other expert advice. Here you've put all of this study and science into coming up with this air quality index, and yet you can't tell me any way to protect myself other than to stay in the house. It just seems that the precautions that come with these air issues to me is ridiculous. So I want to know, where's the air quality protection? We needed a mask for C-19. We don't need a mask for your bad air quality. And what you burning? Like I'm not convinced that, some people are saying that they smell, over where I live, it smells like wood. I don't smell wood. I don't smell fire. I see a smoggy sky. I see what looks like a continuously rainy or pre-rainy day. In the cloud, they're not necessarily rain clouds. It's a gray sky where it's a gray and orangish peaches like sky where I could see where the sun is trying to come through. So it looked fishy to me. And I feel like they trying to play in my face. Like, I'm not going to deny that there are some, maybe there are some things going on in Canada where there are forests burning, and I'm not trying to dismiss or make light of any of that. I'm sure that's a serious challenge. And I sympathize with that. However, I don't appreciate what I think is those in control of larger medias sending out the mass alert that our air quality is jacked up, when really I think it's a matter of timing. And it's like, this is a great time to do our bullshit. So while this forest is burning over here in Canada, we'll blame them, and then we'll be doing our stuff with the air. So I'm not convinced. I don't think we have all the details. I think something's going on with the air. I just don't think it's what they told us. I don't want to discourage anybody from taking necessary precautions. Of course, you have ways to improve your air quality in your home. By all means, take advantage of that, because I don't trust it. I don't think this is forest fire smoke in the air. I don't think this is the residue of burning trees. I don't believe it. I don't agree. So there's that. And if you don't know, now you know that this is Nacho Sundays, whereas Nacho opinion is Nacho's opinion. And that's my opinion. I think they're playing with our air. I think they're doing something. It's way too much nanotechnology going on. Way too many things that come by way of chemtrails. I think, considering how long chemtrails have been used, that they have taught us a thing or three about manipulating the air. And I think we definitely apply that science to other technologies in order to get a desired result that's not always communicated to the society. So, I'm saying stuff without saying stuff. Those my Nachotarians, y'all picking up what I'm putting down. I know y'all get it. So, anywho, with that said, we are going to move into the final portion of our Nacho, which is the Nacho Supreme. In the Nacho Supreme, we talk about the knowledge nugget, things that we can do to help get through this thing called life, things we wish we'd have known when we were younger that we could have applied, stuff to just make this easier, more harmonious, and peaceful for us. But before I do that, I do want to check in with my chat. My chat has been active. Wayne, you have been going in the chat. I appreciate you pulling up as well. Thank you for engaging the chat and keeping the conversation going. I see the Magus Council is in the building. Oh my goodness. Good. Thank you for pulling up, Magus. I appreciate this. Y'all showing up and showing out today. But yes, we are going to move into the final portion of our Nacho, and we are getting ready to devour our Nacho Supreme. And in this episode of the Nacho Supreme, we are going to talk about knowing when to discard behavior that no longer serves you. This is something I wish I could have learned sooner. I learned it, but I wish I could have learned it sooner. And sometimes we when we are young adults, we don't take into consideration the impact that hormones and emotions can impress upon our souls and our inner beings that we carry with us into the rest of our lives. So things that we did to get through that highly hormonal, highly emotional time, we tend to hold on to those things, and we're reluctant to let them go because they served us so well in our younger years. But as you become a seasoned adult, it might not serve you to say, you know what, if one of my friends say anything I don't like, I'm cutting them off. I'm not even bump that. We ain't got nothing to talk about. You cross me, it's over. When really you've built longer lasting relationships that have a lot more quality involved, hopefully, if these are people you're calling your friends. And it might be worth it to talk some things out, because maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe you misheard something. Maybe there was a lot going on with your friend, and you thinking that there was something that had to do with you, didn't realize they had something totally separate going on, and maybe they really needed you in that moment, and all you had for them was attitude. So you might need to rethink old ways of doing things. If you're a person that is looking to elevate, you're a person that's looking to grow, you need to adapt habits and behaviors that suit the level you're trying to grow to. It might not be a good habit to cut people off without discussion when you are looking to grow a business, build a network, have tighter family bonds, get closer to your adult children or growing children, or it's you've got to rethink things that may have served you in the past, maybe in a relationship. Maybe when you're dealing in romantic relationships, you don't know how to have conflict. Maybe all you've ever done in your romantic relationships was yell and scream when you're mad. You didn't know how to talk it out. You have to be able to get to the point to say, you know what, this is the result I want. I want a peaceful result. I want a harmonious result. I don't think I can get there sticking to my you yell at me, I'm gonna yell at you guns. I'm not gonna be able to get the peace I want if I'm in a tit for tat mode. Oh, you said my mama, well, your mama. You can't. At some point, you have to give in to trying something that's going to serve the purpose you want to get to, and not your old self. Because if you're going to continue in your old ways, you're going to continue to be your old self. There is no growth there. So you've got to be able to self-evaluate in a way that allows you to say, you know what, this behavior doesn't serve me anymore. I can't just go on like this. I can't go on ignoring people. I can't go on cutting people off. I can't go on talking crazy to folks. I can't go on just blurting out anything whenever I feel like it. I have to take precaution. I have to mind what comes out of my mouth. I have to have some integrity in what I say. At some point, you have to have a self-accountability that allows you to adapt the behaviors necessary for your own success. It starts with you. So that's the knowledge nugget in today's Nacho Supreme, is the knowing when to let go of old habits and being able to adopt the habits that serve the better you that you're trying to get to. Know when it's okay to let go of those old ways of doing things. Everything changes. Everything has its purpose. And maybe those behaviors served their purpose. They did what they needed to do for that point in your life. But now it may be time to adapt new behaviors, new ways of doing things that can open new doors and get you closer to the success that you want in your life. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for pulling up to Nacho Sundays. I will see you next Sunday. Make sure you come back to the EBL Network channel. There is a battle going down tonight. Somebody is going to get that admit one ticket into the tournament where they get to compete against other battlers for a larger pot. Make sure you pull back up to EBL tonight, I believe at 11 o'clock my time. It's 7:14 right now. So 11 o'clock my time. Make sure you're right back here for that battle on the EBL Network. Also, make sure you check out Nacho Sundays on Fibonacci Brown's channel right here on YouTube. And Wave and Blaze every morning, best morning show on the internet, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 7 a.m. And we are out, y'all. Have a great Sunday. Uh-oh.
We appreciate everybody for stopping by. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. And don't just watch the battle, be part of the battle. All you gotta do, look in the description, click the link to the Discord, be part of the audience live.
Bye, y'all. I'm gonna remember one week to cut this thing off when I'm done with the show.